Welcome to Club Reddit, where membership is as simple as smashing that subscribe button below. Today we have a pro-revenge story titled, How I Got Even with a Crap Former Coworker That Wanted to Spread Rumors. Okay, so I was recommended to post this story to this sub. I'm going to be honest. There are no saints in this story. There is no good guy or bad guy. I felt I was wronged and I got revenge. That said, let me give you some backstory and get to the good crap we're all here for. I worked as a security guard for a few years at a factory. My last year I had made site supervisor and ran the guard booth. We were contractors. Our contract was simple. Make sure everyone who comes in is logged, watch the cameras, call bigwigs to pick up their visitors. Every now and then we did a walkthrough or some paperwork. Simple. And it leaves you with a lot of relative downtime depending on your shift. During my tenure I made a few friends, a few enemies, and got along with most of the people working there. It's surprisingly easy to investigate incidents when people like talking with you. One of the enemies I made was a supervisor, let's call him Ted. Ted had worked his way up from a line worker and felt that since he had made his way from nothing, he deserved his ego. He had squared himself firmly against anyone he couldn't control, and I never gave him his due. We all know his type. Now Ted treated his line workers pretty poorly. And more than a few came to me to report his misconduct. One of our duties was to log any of these complaints as an incident report, submit a copy to the factory admin, submit a copy to our company, and then file the original. Ted had his own folder in that drawer. Ted did not like this. Ted did not like me. At the start of COVID, we lost most of our staff in the booth. We were down to 3 guards trying to cover a 24/7 schedule. We did a lot of 12-hour shifts starting from March going all the way to October when I left. My company struggled to fill the missing spots, hiring 2 guards during that period. Neither lasted more than 2 weeks. October came, I was burnt. Then both my remaining guards quit. I don't blame them in the least. I immediately turned in my 2 weeks and refused to work more than 12 hours a day. After I turned in my notice, my company scrambled to replace me and the missing guards. They got my replacement at the start of my last week, and she started on a Sunday. I trained her for 1 day and she never came back. I discovered on my last day she had claimed that I intimidated her and made her uncomfortable. She told my boss she didn't feel safe around me. Now I was livid at this. I have never mixed business and pleasure. I'm a big guy, I work out. I have never had those intentions at work. It was a major joke anywhere I've worked because my tagline has always been, I don't crap where I eat. I was burned out. I had an amazing woman I am now dating who was coming out to see me in 2 weeks. I had spent hours training this woman. I had her scheduled during my shift for the entire week so I could walk her through everything to do with the job. I had squared off with the factory admin to keep it that way. I was doing everything I could to help her because she was coming into a major mess. Admin was looking for a different contractor. Supervisors were trying to access our files. We had crap tons of sensitive information that would have let anybody move up the ladder quick. Or at the least remove a lot of competition. It was chaos. At this point, I hadn't had a day off or a good night's sleep in 3 months. And the boss I had only ever talked to over the phone had arrived in person to tell me this crap. I had almost been terminated over this on my last week. If I didn't have the work ethic my father taught me, I would have walked then and there. I finished my day and walked away, never intending to think of that job again. Now the story should end here. But it didn't, and this is the juicy part you are hankering for. See, after I left, a few friends kept me up to date on the going-ons. My replacement came back for a day and then quit, citing the long hours would keep her away from her kid. I was salty, but it's not my problem. Until a few days ago. See, Ted had found out about her allegations and began spreading rumors I had been terminated for sexual harassment. He then told people that I was a serial harasser and had caused a former female employee to quit as well. She had left as I had gotten the site supervisor job over her. I had seniority and she had a dirty disciplinary record. She had a few incidents that had nearly gotten her fired. I didn't like this. Especially given that some of the incident reports I had on Ted were for sexual harassment. What Ted didn't know is that I don't like being screwed with. While I'm quiet and unassuming, I had plenty of time to build my MAD folders. Little personal history: when I was a computer tech, I had been royally screwed over and nearly fired by my then boss. He gave me directives that were a violation of company policy, bad enough that when they came to light I was given an immediate final written warning. Since I had no proof he told me to do what I did, I shouldered full blame. Since that day I have created mutually assured destruction folders, MAD folders, on anyone that I felt would try to screw me. Ted was one such person. All the originals of my folders are kept hidden in online storage and most are never touched. But Ted peeved me off and was threatening my future job prospects. Reputation is everything. So I opened his folder. I had access to the camera system at the factory. Folks, small town factories are disgusting. People do crap you wouldn't believe. One really popular thing to do is screw in the parking lot. Ted had built a little harem for himself by giving better line positions to women that gave him a little action. And I had pictures and video. I made a nice little folder with some choice clips and stills. Then I sent him to his wife and oldest daughter. Dude is 20-ish years married with 4 daughters, 2 in college, 1 graduating in a year or 2. No clue what happened there, but I doubt it's going well for him. And that wasn't the end. I wasn't satisfied. This never would have been a thing if that replacement hadn't used me as an excuse to duck and run. I told you there's no saints here. During her one day of training, my replacement had asked me about cell phones with good cameras and a bunch of weird policy questions. A few careful questions and lo and behold she has an OnlyFans. I warned her that was a huge violation of our contract with the company. Any type of sex work is forbidden as the company has clients in Vegas and some European countries where that is legal and doesn't want any workers moonlighting. The company is incredibly strict on that. Strict to the point I could have terminated her on the spot. They are impartial. Man or woman, it is not tolerated. Thinking on this and being very irate, I track it down. And she was nice enough to have links to her premium Snap. I bundle this and send it to 3 groups. My previous employer, the IRS, and her ex. She had been in a protracted custody battle with him and our state is a little conservative. Judges here do not look favorably on sex workers. Most have a prejudice that the women are hooked on drugs and will harm the child. And I just gave her ex evidence of sex work and possibly tax fraud. If his lawyer can't get at least split custody, no child support, that's on the ex for being a piece of crap. If you enjoyed this story of ProRevenge, be sure to drop us a like and comment below. See you next time.